Hey guys! Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. It's Friday. We are going to go to Sabino Canyon. We are going to be seeing all the amazing cactuses, and it's just going to be super fun. I'm with Josh, and we're going to take we're going to have like a little date time, you know? It's really important to do that as a couple, especially because he works so much. Do you know what I mean? So anyway, I got my bathing suit on. I'm all ready to go. I'm ready to go swim. It's like 98 degrees here in Tucson. But anyway, I hope you guys have an amazing day. We just pulled into the 7-Eleven to get some water because we're going to need water. It's like super, super hot out. But anyway, love you guys. Take care. Bye. Mwah, mwah, mwah.
And folks, if you live in the Tucson area, that's the same bat that empties your hummingbird feeders overnight. Saguaros don't get their first arms until they're between 60 and 75 years old, and some of them will never grow arms. They're spongy inside with these accordion-like pleats so that they can expand and absorb a lot of water during our summer rainy season. They also have very shallow roots, only about 20 inches deep, but they also have long, thick, strong roots that spread out to the height of the plant. Local Native Americans, even today, harvest saguaro fruit with long sticks, and those sticks are usually made up of several saguaro ribs that are lashed together. And folks, if you look to my right here, you'll see a saguaro skeleton showing the rib structure that allows it to expand when it drinks a lot of water. Alright folks, they use that saguaro fruit to make a ceremonial wine to encourage our summer monsoon season. These big guys that you will see with many arms can weigh up to 5,000 pounds, and the state of Arizona and northern Mexico is the only place in the world where saguaros can be found growing naturally. They can probably be found in flower pots worldwide though. They live to be up to 200 years old, and they grow up to an elevation of between 3,500 and 4,000 feet. Alright folks, this is stop one. Any hands for stop one? It looks like we may be picking up some passengers. That's Pear at stop one. Thank you. Those are called mesquite trees, and they can have a taproot of up to 150 feet deep. There are several varieties, but the one here in the canyon is called the velvet mesquite. Mesquite beans or seed pods are a very important food source for the animals here in the canyon, and they're nutritious for humans too. Humans will grind mesquite beans up into a gluten-free, sweet, nutty flavored flour used in baking. Mesquite wood is very hard and burns very hot, and anything that you cook over it will have a very distinctive flavor. Alright folks, we're coming up to stop 2. Any hands for 2? PA. And those were programs designed during the Great Depression to help people keep working. And I'm going to point out another cactus to you now, folks. It's to my left, growing alongside the saguaros. It's got yellow spines and many branches, and that's called a teddy bear cholla. The water in Sabino Creek is not spring-fed. It comes from snow melt and rain runoff out of the Catalina Mountains. The water is tinged brown from tannins or tannic acid that it picks up as it runs over oak tree roots. A glass of iced tea or a cup of coffee is brown from tannins also, folks. Our creek is practically at a standstill right now. We really do need some more rain up in the mountains. It's just running a trickle. We're coming up to stop 3. Any hands for stop species? They're only found in southeastern Arizona and down into Mexico a short ways.
Chub is what she's talking about.
This is one of only 29 areas that still have small populations. They manage to survive the minimum of a 6-week drought every summer by finding small, permanent pools to live in while they wait for the summer rains to bring water back to the creek. And if you can do so while remaining seated, you can look down into this pool to my left, and you may see some of our Gila chubs swimming around down there. At the end of the bridge to my right, you will see a tree with white bark. That's an Arizona sycamore, and they get up to 80 feet tall. And if you'll look to my right, you'll see a rock formation on the canyon wall that looks like a face with a very toothy grin. In 2006, we had a major flood here in the canyon, and the water was all the way up to that face's teeth.
Wow.
As we cross this next bridge, I'll be pointing out a Gooding willow. The Gooding willow is Arizona's largest native willow, and it will be to my left out in the middle of the creek bed next to that large gray boulder. And you may notice these yellow flowers growing near the bridge. Those are called burr marigolds, and their seed pod is a little burr that wants to stick to your socks and go home with you. And you may have noticed the many other large boulders down in the creek bed. It is thought that they came tumbling down from the top of the canyon wall during an earthquake in May of 1887. The epicenter was 150 miles away in northern Mexico. Had the Richter scale been invented back then, it was possibly a 6.7. To my left, this tall tree overhanging the road right there is a Mexican blue oak. It's an evergreen tree, constantly renewing its leaves, and so it's never bare. And they're not very common at this low elevation. They're more often seen over the elevation of 4,500 feet. If you're curious about the elevations here in the canyon, the elevation at the ticket booth is 2725, and the elevation up at stop 9, where we'll be turning around, is 3334. So we're going to be climbing up just over 600 feet. And this is stop 4, folks. Any hands for 4? To my right, up at the top of the canyon, you'll see a tall, smooth cliff face. That's called the Acropolis Wall. And from its base to its top, it is 410 feet tall. That's the equivalent of a 41-story building. And folks, one of our most popular trails, Foam Line Trail, runs along the canyon wall about 2/3 of the way up. It's overcast and relatively cool, so you could see little bitty people walking along it up there. Sabino Canyon is a natural wilderness area with ever-changing seasons. One of the biggest challenges that the plants and animals here can face is a temperature difference of 100 degrees between winter and summer. And because Sabino Canyon is designated as a natural wilderness area, all of the plants and animals here are federally protected. Over 200 species of birds have been seen here, making it an ideal location for the bird watchers in the Tucson area. Over 40 species of butterflies have been spotted, and we also have deer. Mule deer are very rare, but very commonly seen is a small whitetail called the cow's whitetail, and that's C-O-U-E-S. We also have javelina, coyotes, foxes, bobcats, badgers, skunks, and squirrels, many varieties of snakes and lizards. We have most of our mountain lion sightings during the hotter summer months, but one was seen up at stop 8 just about 2 weeks ago. Last summer there was over a dozen sightings. Some of my passengers and I got to see a mother mountain lion with 2 half-grown cubs laying in the shade of a tree very near the first bridge. We also have coatis and ring-tailed cats, and both of those animals are related to the raccoon. To my left, here by the road, you'll see a tall, segmented cactus. This one is called a staghorn cholla. We have many varieties of cholla. We have a jumping cholla that doesn't really jump. This is stop 5. Any hands for 5? The entire segment of a jumping cholla becomes detached very easily. All you have to do is barely brush up against one and it grabs hold, and it doesn't want to let go either. We're coming up to stop 6, and this stop is the last stop with a picnic table and a grill, and it's a popular swimming hole because of this sandy beach that you see near the bridge here. You can see the water marks on the rocks back there that shows how deep the water gets. I know you guys have heard about Arizona's beachfront property, and here it is. Don't blink your eyes. Any hands for stop 6? No hands for 6. Let's see if we're... Any passengers for 6? Nope, I guess not. Alright, folks. On the slope of the hill to my right, you'll see a low-growing cactus with its circular paths that you'll recognize as a prickly pear. Prickly pear fruit is another important food source for the animals. Humans will also gather prickly pear fruit and use it to make jelly and syrup. The fruit juice can be used in mixed drinks. Some of you may have had a prickly pear juice margarita recently. Alright folks, you can see here how low our creek level has dropped. The water is usually running over this bridge to a depth of at least 6 inches. At the end of the bridge to my right, you will see a Palo Verde tree. And there's more of them growing to my left here on the side of this bank. Palo Verde is a Spanish name and it means green stick. It's the Arizona state tree, and you may notice that its trunk and branches are green also. That aids in photosynthesis during times of drought when the tree is leafless. There are several varieties of Palo Verde tree, and the foothills Palo Verde can have a lifespan of up to 400 years. These banded rocks that you see in the canyon are called Catalina gneiss. That's G-N-E-I-S-S. And they're made up primarily of 5 minerals. And those are quartz, feldspar, magnetite, garnet, and mica. To my right, at about 2 o'clock at the top of the canyon, you'll see a cliff with a bump on top. That bump is called Thimble Peak, and it has an elevation of 5,300 feet. Thimble Peak can be seen from many points in the Tucson area. And if you look up into the saguaros, you may see one with a perfectly round hole in the side. That hole was put there by the Gila woodpecker. After the woodpecker family moves out of that cavity, other birds want to move in. And one of those birds is the tiny, sparrow-sized elf owl. And this is stop 7. Alright folks, there are several theories as to how Sabino Canyon got its name. The first theory, there was a long ago rancher by the name of Sabino Otero who had a ranch about 45 miles southeast of Tucson. The second theory, long ago when the Native Americans were still living here, there was a roan-colored horse running wild, and they called that horse Sabino. The earliest known use of the word Sabino to describe this area was found in a Mexican document dated 1834, but it's likely that the name is much older than that. It is thought that the word Sabino was Spanish for the cypress or juniper trees that used to live here back when the climate was cooler. You can no longer see them down here, but they can be seen at higher elevations. The U.S. Supreme Court ruled in favor of the tree, but it's pretty much common knowledge that the word Sabino refers to a rusty red color, such as the rusty-looking rocks, the rusty roan horse, or the red bark on a cypress or a juniper tree. We're coming up to stop 8, and this is a favorite because of a short level hike to Anderson's Dam. Do I see any hands for stop 8? Alright folks, please remain.
Okay guys, here's Josh. Say hi, Josh.
Hello.
We're gonna go ahead and go down the Sabino Canyon now, where we love to, where we used to swim, but we understand the water's pretty low right now. So stay tuned for some more video. We love you guys. Bye. Woohoo! Let me see you. That's so cool, buddy. We are down by the waterfalls. It's so sad because the water was like up to this level. It was really, really tall. Love you, buddy! Oh my gosh, okay, you can see Josh in the back. Say hey, Josh! You gonna jump? Jump! Jump! All right, he's gonna jump. But anyway, how are you guys doing, my little beautiful YouTubers? This is Kita from Kitafit.com. Just out, we are out in Sabino Canyon playing around. There he is. We'll probably get him jumping in there. Jump in right there. 1, do a jackknife. 2, 3, go. Bunny, you're on the camera. Bunny doesn't want to go. Ready? Are you gonna go up? He's gonna go up. All right, you guys. Oh my gosh, it's so beautiful. Let me just do a big panoramic so you guys can see how amazing this place is. We are literally in the bottom of a canyon, and you can jump up off these cliffs and jump in. It's so beautiful. It's so amazing. I'm gonna show you footage of like the fish. Oh, there's Josh. He's right up there. Can you see him? Ready, set, go! Woo! Oh my gosh. Isn't that crazy? Woo, woo, woo! So anyway, YouTubers, have an amazing weekend. I love you. Remember to like and subscribe. Put your comments below. This is Kita from Kitafit. Remember, standing in your light, standing in your truth, and above all else, be a warrior. We love you guys. Bye. Mwah. Oh, yeah. Does it feel good, Bunny Muffin? Okay, so you guys, I am so grateful for this beautiful day. And look at this just beautiful nature. I'm standing in a cold creek bed. It's just beautiful. I love you guys. So be in total gratitude for nature. That's where I am. Go out and take a walk in nature. I'm here in Sabino Canyon in Tucson, and it is amazing. I love you guys. Remember, standing in your light, standing in your truth, and above all else, be a warrior. Love you. Bye.